everybody. You're watching the 10 After 7 podcast on YouTube with your host, Michael Cody Stevenson. This is the Mother's Day edition. I wanted to wish all the mothers out there a happy Mother's Day. You guys deserve to be celebrated every single day out of the year. That's the truth. My mom, I miss her every single day. Some days are tough, other days tougher. A couple bright spots sprinkled in. The phone calls are what I miss the most. If you know me, I called her for everything. There were some times when I would be late to work, stuck in traffic, about 5 minutes late. And she'd always be the one I called. Why? She made everything all right. She reassured that it's going to be fine. You're okay. It's one time that you're late. I would call her other times. I would get lost, driving to Dodger Stadium for the 100th time, trying to take a new shortcut. She'd be the first person I called. Even though there's a thing called GPS. But I called her because everything was all right. I would call her every day on lunch break. Conversations be brief. Was your lunch good? I'd say, what are you watching? It'd be the same shows. The View, Ellen. Her DVR is one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. That thing gets up to 80% filled in 2 days. I don't know how she did it. But we would watch half those shows together. And I still watch them. Survivor, Below Deck. She got me on Summer House, and it might be my favorite show on Bravo to this day. More than any. I haven't got the Housewives yet, but Summer House is amazing. We watched the entire Sons of Anarchy, all 6 seasons together. She'd be confused. There's too many gangs involved. I don't get it. And the one thing she didn't like is if I drank when we watched these shows. Because I could become a chatterbox. And she'd go, would you shut up? When you drink, you just don't stop talking. She would call my brother Dylan sometimes. Your brother's talking again. You know what that means. Yep. I would do anything to have those conversations again. There were times I would come home from going to a Dodger or Angel game, come home at 11 p.m. at night and just sit on her bed and talk. 1, because I knew it would make her mad. 2, just because I like to talk. To her. Everything was on the table when we talked. There wasn't a story left untold. We go to lunch, dinner, these last couple years, more often. And I mean, the conversations went anywhere. We even had my first daughter's name picked out. If I have one, I would tell her, hey, I got to find a girlfriend first. We had our mother's son dance song picked out since I was 12. I remember one time, a waitress came up to us. She saw the dragonfly tattoo on my arm. She said, oh, that's a cool tattoo. I have one on the back of my neck, a dragonfly. She walks away and my mom goes, really? You said cool? You couldn't say anything more than that? I say, no, Mom, I'm not going to spit game when you're right here in front of me. We'd go to Yard House and get this chocolate souffle. It was our greatest thing. Just big enough where we could split it. And it's the most delicious thing we each have ever had. Mother's Day, I think every Mother's Day for the past 5 years, I would drive to downtown Disney after work and get these beignets that she loved. Even if they were to go, they were still her favorite. I know she posted on Facebook or Instagram or whatever it was. But the phone calls I miss the most. The time she'd call me and get mad at me that I didn't check in. There was one time at Coachella. She urged me to go. She said, go. And that was with her, with everything. I said, oh, my friends are going here. They're going to Havasu this weekend. They're going to Palm Springs. She always said, go. You should go. So I remember Coachella. I didn't check in for a few days. Was living it up. Might have been under the influence. Definitely under the influence. And her and Dylan both called me. Just ripping into me. You got to check in. So this last trip I took in March in Arizona was a tough one. Bachelor party went there. One of those weekends where you're just drinking it up all weekend. I remember that next day, the first day I was there, I woke up. And that was the first time I was like, man, I'm not going to get that phone call. And I can't make it. Even if I'm getting ripped into, I would have loved that phone call more than anything else. Phone calls are tough, and then I think what she would think now during this quarantine stuff. First, I think she'd look at me and say, shave your beard, which I would agree with, looking straight at me right now. Brutal. And then TikTok. Here's the funny thing. Her opinion It's the only opinion that'll ever matter to me. And she would always talk about this guy, Twitch, on Ellen. She brought him up so many different times. And I never watched Ellen before. And she said, Twitch, I love this guy. You got to see his new dance. I'd say, what? What are you talking about? It's Twitch. Seriously, when I say she brought him up all the time, she did. How much she loved Twitch and his dance moves. So when I got TikTok in March, turns out this guy's like the biggest TikTok guy. And he does dance moves that I couldn't even dream of doing. So I've done these dance moves on TikTok. I get bored sometimes on weekends, do it, throw it up there, try to make it funny. And I know how many times she would call me a dork. Especially in those shorts I've been wearing in them, the turquoise. They're my trunks, and I wear them all the time. I think my legs look good in them. She would say, those are so funny looking. You're such a dork. And one trip that sticks out to me, that'll stick out to me forever, is in late October. I had vacation, planned it around the Dodgers, of course. Thought they were going to the World Series. They didn't. So I got a suite at a hotel in Huntington by Dylan's house. And when we were planning the trip, I urged her, you got to come one day at least. I'm going to get it for 2 days, just come one day. She's calling the front desk before we were even there and gets a teepee set up for Cash. A little teepee with a little fire pillow in there and something that says his name on it. She got this whole thing set up for him. So the first day I have some friends. We go out. Next day I go out day drinking and she decides to come. I'm stoked. Little Cash is coming over, playing his teepee. We got all kinds of junk food. It was the first time he tried like a fruit roll-up that we got him. Got him these Yeti slippers. Hilarious looking things that we got at Big Bear Diner one time. And she showed up and it was like two best friends. I mean, I said, use the robe, use the slippers, take the bath, do whatever. You're the queen. Sleep in the bed, queen-size bed, do it all. This is your weekend. So she gets in the bath. She's playing her music the whole time. I left it on repeat, so it's the same song over and over. I don't know what song it was, country song. She gets out in the robe. We order pizza after just going to a nice restaurant. I said, let's just get pizza, let's watch a movie. I picked the worst movie of all time. A dog movie. If you know my mom, you know she loves dogs. And I just said, let's watch the dog movie. Let's do it. We maybe made 30 minutes in, and every other comment of hers was, why did you pick this one? Turn it off, turn it off. We ordered this big, giant barbecue pizza. We're eating on the bed, just the two of us, watching this dog movie that we can't stand. It was just a memory that I'll have for a lifetime. Two best friends, because that's what she was to me. A best friend, eating pizza on the bed, in a suite. Next day, go home, but I'll have that one forever. And I hope my brother takes that with him, because that was one of the last times Cash was there. But I just want to shout out my mom today, because she's the greatest woman. She's still with me. I know she's watching my TikToks, like the rest of you guys are. Like, what is this guy doing? How can he do it? Her opinion is the only one that will ever matter. And I've always been told, don't care what other people think. And that's because of her. I love her. If you have your mom with you, give her a hug and a kiss. They deserve it. Text them every day. Call them every day. Because I wish I could. So do it for me. That's all I have for you. You can follow me on Twitter at 10after7 or on Instagram at 10_after7. Love you, Mom. Woo. Go Dodgers.